SPAC Daddy Doug here, and I want to talk about a potential business combination that is going to happen, that might happen, and you're hearing about it first here. It's nowhere, it's not on Twitter, nowhere, but here. If you've heard about Spac CFFA in the past, they opened up the fund in December of 2018, and on June 5th of this year, so last month, they extended to go through September 17th. So who is CFFA? It stands for CF Acquisition Corp, which really stands for Cantor Fitzgerald Acquisition Corp. And if you don't know who Cantor Fitzgerald is, they're a big company, they're a great company, and they specialize in institutional equity, fixed income sales. They serve middle markets with investment banking. They're also a prime brokerage. They do a lot in commercial real estate. And they're also active in new businesses, including advisory, asset management, gaming technology, and e-commerce. You might also know the company. During 9/11, they were in the World Trade Center, and they had 658 employees who died. Every employee died in the company that was over there. But you know, it's a great company. For the next 5 years after 9/11, post 9/11, they gave 25% of their profits to the families of those employees who perished, along with health insurance for the families for the next 10 years. And also, you know, I'm from New Jersey, and they gave, during Hurricane Sandy, when it came across here, it was really devastating. They gave $10 million to the families affected directly with the hurricane. So great company, they have a lot of philanthropy. It's, you know, they're good people. The CEO has been around since 1983, and the management team's been around. They seem very great, and I'm going to get into that. And those are some key parts about this business combination. So CFFA, they're trying to acquire a company with a valuation of $750 million to $2 billion, and that's what they have in their S1. And just going through it, what they wrote was, they're looking for initial business combination to build a company in an industry that complements the experience and expertise of our management team. Our acquisition selection process will leverage a network of contacts developed by our officers and directors and those of our affiliates, including relationships in the financial services industry. So who's on their board? And their board is basically all the executive management from Cantor Fitzgerald. So I'm going to give you two names that are important, but Howard Lutnick, he's the CEO. He's been the CEO since 1983. The most important name, though, is Anshu Jain. He's the president of Cantor Fitzgerald, and he's been in the position since January of 2017. And he's I believe I did some digging into him, but he's a British Indian guy. And he has a background in banking. The rest of the management team is their CFO, general counsel. They brought in a guy on a couple of weeks ago, or actually not a couple of weeks ago, a few days ago, Paul Byan, who's the chief administrative officer. So how do we figure out this with SoFi? So I'm going to give you a little bit about SoFi. So SoFi, if you don't know them, you've probably seen their advertisements, and that if you're not a customer or consumer of their products. You know, in 2011, they started the company. So four people started it out of Stanford Graduate Business School, and really what they wanted to do is figure out a way how to get student loans cheaper. And it was through peer-to-peer lending. So they initially found found a market saying these students wanted loans that were cheaper that the federal government offered, but they could find that alumni were willing to be investors in this area, and they would make some money too. And basically this whole peer-to-peer lending started with SoFi. And then over the course since 2011, they built their business, and they're more or less now into like mortgages and personal loans, different types of insurances and such. And they changed their business model a little bit, where they're looking at your employment history, your professional history, your college education, your free cash flow, and they're really their own metrics to figure out how is this person a good person to invest with. So it's a great company. From everything that I've been reading, their revenue in 2018 was $547 million. Net income was $126 million. And I guess what's interesting is a relationship. So I mentioned the director of Cantor Fitzgerald. So Anush Jain. So this is really interesting. So Anush Jain was on the board of SoFi from February 2016 to early 2017, and some meeting notes from SoFi. And they're saying goodbye, and the CEO of SoFi is Mike Cagney. But Mike Cagney says, Anshu has been a great advisor and a friend to me and the rest of the board. We have been very pleased to have his help and insight on a range of issues, most recently our successful fundraising round. He leaves SoFi in a great place, and we wish to have all the best in a new role at Cantor Fitzgerald. Great. And he responds, I have greatly enjoyed my time working with Mike and the team at SoFi, and it's been glad to make a contribution to the company's growth and recent successful capital raise. SoFi continues to be a dynamic force in an evolving sector, and I look forward to watching the company go from strength to strength. Great. So there's a great relationship between both the management teams at Cantor Fitzgerald and SoFi now. And they're in the same sector. And Cantor Fitzgerald's looking for someone. So it was issued on May 29th. Social Finance issued a Form D. So this probably flew under everyone's radar, because who the hell is Social Finance? Social Finance is SoFi. I went on their website, you're not going to see Social Finance anywhere. So I don't think anyone made their connection. But what a Form D is, if you don't know what that is, it's an SEC filing, and basically it's saying you're going to raise some capital in the next you're going to sell some capital within the next 15 days. Not necessarily that means 15 days, but looking at the Form D form, going down all the check boxes, they have something filled out. Basically, they're looking to do a business combination, and that's why they're filing with the SEC. And they're offering sale of $814 million. This $814 million actually fits right in line with Cantor Fitzgerald. So they're looking to do a business combination, which is strange, and the relationship's there. So I think there's a high probability that CFFA will be doing a business combination with SoFi, and this is huge. This is going to blow up. This is a big business. This is a big area, and I think it has what they call meme status. So people enjoy these types of business combinations that are going to happen. And I'd like to give some credit to a Reddit user. His name is it's RUMe29. He's the guy who made that connection with SoFi and stuff. And I added into this a little bit with my own personal research, but I want to give him credit for discovering this. So I think this is a great find. Too bad I'm filming this right now. I think it's about midnight Thursday night or Friday morning now, and I wish we could get this information across a little bit sooner before the weekend started. But at least you have the information here, and I'm really glad to break this news. Also, if you guys like these videos and you want them to continue, please subscribe to this. YouTube requires a certain amount of users before getting monetized, and I know it just started, but as of right now, it's just me and that camera on my cell phone, and I'd like to get some video editing software, maybe a microphone. So, like and subscribe. Thanks.